Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, and this is Veeam 13 full course, and this is part 6th video in this series. So in this part we are going to learn how to add Hyper-V server into Veeam Backup and Replication step by step along with the complete hands-on labs demo. So this is very important topic, especially if you are working in an environment where the Microsoft Hyper-V is used as virtualization platform. So by end of this session you will be clearly understand how to integrate a Hyper-V with Veeam and how it works internally, and how it basically help in real world enterprise backup scenarios. So let's get started. So let's first understand what is Hyper-V and uh, what is the benefit of adding Hyper-V in Veeam. So Hyper-V is a Microsoft virtualization platform that allow you to create and manage virtual machine on Windows Server. Just like VMware ESXi and vCenter, Microsoft environments use the Hyper-V host either standalone or managed through a virtual machine manager basically. So now the key question, why do we add Hyper-V in Veeam? So when you add Hyper-V server in Veeam, Veeam can automatically discover all the virtual machine running on that host. You can centrally manage backups instead of handling on each VM manually. You get advanced backup features such as image level backup, application aware backup, change block tracking, which is for supported environment, instant VM recovery. So without adding Hyper-V into Veeam, there is no way to protect these virtual machine efficiently. So now before starting the lab, let's go through the prerequisites. So the first, your Hyper-V server must be up and reachable from Veeam backup server. Second, ensure proper network connectivity and DNS resolution is happening for your Hyper-V server. And third is required port must be open and communication between Hyper-V and VM, basically Hyper-V and Veeam server should be established. Network and next you need administrator credential for Hyper-V. Veeam typically requires local administrator access for Hyper-V host or a domain account with the admin privilege on the Hyper-V host. So also ensure the Windows firewall is properly configured. Remote management is enabled, which is through WinRM or RPC depending on the setup. So best practice is to use a dedicated service account instead of using the default administrator account on the server. So now let's understand how Veeam work internally. So once the Hyper-V is added to Veeam, Veeam communicates directly to the host. Unlikely VMware, where the vCenter act as a control panel, Hyper-V environment, Veeam interact directly with the Hyper-V host or a cluster. So key operations include VM machine discovery, snapshot creation using VSS, which is volume shadow copy services, backup data processing and tracking changed data blocks. Veeam leverages the Microsoft VSS to ensure the application consistent backups for the virtual machine which is running on the Hyper-V host. So real life example you can understand, basically imagine you are managing a company where all the workloads running on the Hyper-V. There are 50 virtual machines including domain controller, database, application server. So without Veeam integration, backup would be manual, inconsistent and difficult to manage. Now consider a situation where critical database server crashes. Without proper backup, data loss could impact the business operations, but with the Hyper-V integration with Veeam, you can instantly recover your virtual machine, even restore on a specific file. This significantly basically reduce the downtime and business impact. Now what are the benefit of adding Hyper-V in Veeam? So let's summarize the benefits. So centralized backup management, automatic VM discovery, application consistent backup using VSS, faster backup and recovery, supports basically larger scale environments, reduced manual efforts, improve reliability and compliance, instant recovery capability which is going to be introduced once you add Hyper-V to Veeam, and this integration ensure the Hyper-V environment is fully protected. And there are some best practices also which we should understand. So the very first one is use the dedicated service account for taking the backup, integrating the Hyper-V server with the uh, Veeam, and ensure the proper network and DNS configuration. Keep the firewall rules properly configured. Regular update credential for the service account which you are using for backup. Monitor backup jobs and infrastructure related to Hyper-V infrastructure. Keep Hyper-V and Veeam updated. So these are the some benefits or best practices. Now this is my lab environment which I am going to use in this demo. So I have my Active Directory and DNS server. Then we got our Veeam data platform server, and then we have a one dedicated Hyper-V server. So let me show you this infrastructure. So this is my Active Directory and DNS server, and this is my Veeam server. So let me log into Veeam server also, and I got this Hyper-V standalone Hyper-V server basically, which is joined in domain, which is my labsandson.lan. So these all three servers are in same domain, which is deployed in this Active Directory server, labsandson.lan. So this is I logged into my Veeam server and open Veeam backup and replication. So now this is my Active Directory and DNS server. So the very first thing you should verify, you should have a proper DNS record updated. So if I go to forward lookup zone, you should be able to see this is my host. So win2k25-hv01, which has IP address 30, and also it has a reverse lookup zone created. So let me show you. This is the host IP address, and you should be able to basically see the reachability from Veeam server. So let me try that reachability first. So I'll go on terminal, and then let me run the ping job from here. So this is my Hyper-V server. So if I show you, the firewall is open. So let me go ahead, since this is the demo environment, I'll go ahead and disable firewall completely just to show you. So I'll go here, and then for domain profile I'll go ahead and disable this, and let me check now. So you can see the host is reachable. So this is good. So network connectivity is one of the important thing, and then the second thing, you should have a basically service account or admin credential ready. So this is my Hyper-V. I'm running two virtual machine on this Hyper-V host. You can see here, and then let me show you computer management to show you the accounts basically. So local groups and administrator. So I have this account which I have logged in with on this server HV admin, which I am going to use in my Veeam server to get added. So basically as a service account. So I'll go and backup infrastructure basically, and from the backup infrastructure basically go to inventory, and from inventory you should be able to see, in last video we added our vCenter server, and now on the Hyper-V host, Microsoft Hyper-V, I'll click here and add server, and now it will ask you to add the SCVMM Hyper-V cluster or standalone. So I'll go ahead and add standalone server, and then I put FQDN for my Hyper-V host and click next, and now I'm going to add the credential here. So add, click on add, and then I'm going to put basically labs and so on, and then HV admin, and then I'm going to type the password for this account. So now this is for my Hyper-V host. So click next, and now it is going to basically detect the previously installed component. So we don't have any previously installed component on this Hyper-V host, so it is going to install few components. So let me show you control panel here. So you can see these are the three things. So Veeam data mover service, and then Hyper-V integration, and guest interaction proxy. Basically these are the three thing which is going to be installed. So let me show you. As of now there is nothing installed. So go to program and features, and you can see these services are not nothing related to Veeam. So now I'll go here. So Veeam installer service is only installed because we have done the scanning. So now I'll go ahead and click on apply. So now it is going to install all the prerequisites on the Hyper-V host, and then once the installation is done, it will go ahead. So you can see the package Veeam transport.msi is uploaded. Now installing the Veeam data mover service. So one by one it will install all the prerequisites, and once the prerequisite is installed, then it will proceed with the, now you can see the backup transport is installed. So this is good. So once everything installation is done, it will go ahead and add our Hyper-V server in Veeam. So let's wait for some time. So now you can see installing package Hyper-V integration. So this should be also visible. So you can see here Hyper-V integration is installed. Now let's wait. So now it's installing the guest interaction proxy. So this installation package installation is not going to take more than 2 minutes if you have a good connectivity. So my lab is on 1 gig connectivity for everything, and you can see the installation is moving pretty fast, and as of now it's less than 2 minutes, I guess. Now you can see the installation is completed, and you can see the host is also added under the standalone host, and it's now doing the final collecting disk and volume information for Hyper-V host. Now server added, saved successfully. Click next, and now you can click on finish. And now if I go here, you should be able to see the virtual machine which is running on this Hyper-V host. You can see the both virtual machine and the status is running, and you can see the use size is in collecting state. Now you can see the use size also here, and then the host detail, guest operating system detail, and all other details. And now you can see on the display, you can see these are the 4 services which is installed by Veeam, and there is also one OpenSSL version is installed on this Hyper-V host. So everything is looking good. So now this is what I wanted to cover in this video. So in this session we have learned how to add Hyper-V server in Veeam step by step, along with the understanding how it's work and why it is important in real environment. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe me for more videos, and if you have any query, any question related to this, you can always post me my given mail IDs. Thank you once again. Bye bye.